Police Affairs and Humanitarian Affairs, as well as Office of the Vice President. President Tinubu commended Wosinchak for distinguished service and contributions to reforms and innovation in the civil service. The President charged Eniton to deepen professionalism, efficiency, and accountability while consolidating ongoing reforms to build a more responsive civil service capable of delivering the administration's renewed hope agenda. Eniton holds a BSc in Finance and Banking from University of Lagos and an MSc in Public Policy Analysis from Nasarawa State University. In efforts to ensure continuity in the development and economic reforms of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's led administration, a political support group, Rainbow Coalition Family Movement, is calling on all FCT residents and Nigerians at large to support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's second-term bid. The group's FCT coordinator, Yakubu Gowon Adama, stated this at its maiden press conference, noting that the coalition has a set target of securing over 90% of votes cast in the Federal Capital Territory for President Tinubu in the 2027 general election.
President Tinubu has shown bold leadership in tackling economic challenge, improving security, and laying the foundation for long-term prosperity. Abandoning this progressive halfway will be a disservice to the nation. A second term will enable him to complete the renewal hope agenda and deliver lasting dividend to Nigeria.
The Northern Regional Coordinator, Prince Umar Haruna Yahaya, said the movement would strengthen its presence at the grassroots by sensitizing citizens and encouraging them to participate actively in the electoral process. He said the coalition's structures across the 19 northern states are prepared to engage communities peacefully and responsibly while promoting democratic participation ahead of the 2027 elections.
So the issue of appetite, we have digested it. We have our teams on ground that have gone through it. We have analyzed this. We have come out with the solutions that come the next election. It will even, we have more people that will come out to vote than what we experience in the area elections council.
The campaign and the structure is a very simple something to take to the grassroots. So what we will do is going to the grassroots, word to word, house to house, community to community, and let them know the benefit of reassuring them of Asiwaju coming again.
The coalition also expressed support for all APC candidates contesting the National Assembly seats in the FCT, including the Senate and the 2 House of Representatives seats covering Amak, Buhari, and Abuja South federal constituencies, as it seeks to mobilize widespread support for the APC and President Tinubu ahead of 2027 elections. Minister of State for the Federal Capital Territory, Dr. Maria Mahmood, has called for sustained investment in women, describing their empowerment as a key strategy for Nigeria's economic transformation. Dr. Mahmood made the call while delivering a goodwill message at the second National Gender Inclusion Conference held at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. She said women remain critical contributors to national development as entrepreneurs, farmers, professionals, innovators, and community leaders. However, they continue to face barriers to finance markets, learned technology skills, and decision-making. The minister stressed the need for affordable finance, digital financial services, business support, insurance, and access to markets, alongside strong institutions, gender-responsive budgeting, and reliable data. She also urged stakeholders to ensure that policies affecting women are designed with their participation. Dr. Mahmood said the FCT administration remains committed to inclusive development through skills acquisition, entrepreneurship, social investment, infrastructure, and community development. She urged the private sector, financial institutions, development partners, and civil society to move beyond resolutions and measure progress by tangible economic outcomes for women. The Federal Capital Territory Administration has partnered with the National Union of Dispatch Riders and Mail Operators of Nigeria to identify and flush out criminal elements operating as dispatch riders in Abuja. Mandate Secretary of the FCT Transportation Secretariat, Chinedum Elechi, disclosed this on Wednesday at a meeting with members of the union in Abuja. He said the partnership follows the development of a membership database, online portal, and identification numbers designed to distinguish genuine riders from unidentified operators. Elechi expressed concern over activities of unidentified dispatch riders, including the alleged use of delivery boxes to conceal illegal items. He said the new identification system would enable authorities to isolate bad operators while protecting legitimate riders, assuring the union of the full support of the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and the Transportation Secretariat. Earlier, the union's national president Emmanuel Wadega said the initiative was designed to give every registered rider a unique and verifiable identity. He said dispatch riding had become an important source of livelihood for thousands of young Nigerians, while noting that security concerns, traffic violations, accidents, and multiple operational permits were threatening the sector. Wadega said the union's vision is one ride, one identity, and one verifiable body member, adding that credible data would improve security, accountability, welfare interventions, and government planning. He said collaboration with the FCTA would transform the initiative from a union project into a joint solution to transportation and security challenges in the nation's capital. The chairman of Kwali Area Council, Mr. Nuhu Daniel Kwali, has received management of the National Mathematical Center Abuja on a courtesy visit to his office. The visit provided an opportunity for both parties to discuss areas of mutual interest, particularly the strengthening of educational development and the promotion of mathematics and science education within Kwali Area Council. Receiving the delegation, the Kwali chairman welcomed the team and expressed his administration's commitment to supporting initiatives aimed at improving the quality of education and creating better learning opportunities for students across the area council. He appreciated the National Mathematical Center for the visit and expressed optimism that the engagement would pave the way for stronger collaboration and meaningful interventions in the education sector. Earlier, the director and chief executive of the National Mathematical Center, Abuja, Professor Benjamin Oyelami, said the delegation was at the chairman's office to congratulate him on his victory in the recently concluded FCT Area Council elections. Professor Oyelami assured the chairman of the center's readiness to partner with Kwali Area Council, particularly as its holds counsel in advancing educational development and promoting excellence in mathematics and science education. He expressed confidence that the partnership would provide opportunities for students and teachers in the area council to benefit from expertise and programs of the National Mathematical Center. The courtesy visit ended on a positive note, with both parties expressing their commitment to exploring areas of collaboration that would contribute to the overall development of education in Kwali Area Council. The FCT coordinator, Renewed Hope Ambassadors for President Tinubu re-election in 2027, and the former AMAC chairman Abdullahi Adamu Candido has urged the political heavyweights in the FCT to set aside their differences and work for the victory of APC in 2027. Adamu Candido gave the advice during a media chat in Abuja. Topsy Gimba has the story.
The FCT coordinator, Renewed Hope Ambassadors, and the former AMA chairman, Abdullahi Adamu Candido, said the Renewed Hope Ambassadors will work hard to bring back people feeling abandoned by the party's leadership to return and work for the victory of President Bola Tinubu in 2027. He said he shared the sentiment of these aggrieved leaders of the party in the FCT, but however called on them to set aside their personal grudges and work for the party's victory in 2027. The FCT coordinator, Renewed Hope Ambassadors, said the achievements of President Bola Tinubu in the FCT are feasible and require support.
You in FCT, have you not seen development? Whether you live in the capital city, has the face of the capital city not been changed? with infrastructure. If you live in the suburb, have the government not reached the nooks and crannies that has never been done before now? Have we not seen development? So if we're asking Nigerians who reside in the FCT, okay, we're asking them to please see reasons with development and vote for APC, because all that we are talking about government is what government was able or has been able to offer to the citizens. And for we in the Federal Capital Territory, whether we like, whether we don't like, I think by the grace of God, we have seen this development, and I think we should appreciate the government for this development so far. There is never any plot to rig election. It's going to be a popular election by Nigeria. One man, one vote, and I'm sure you are going to be in the FCT today. You are here today. You will be here after election. We'll meet like this again to now showcase and then analyze the election. When result will have been filed down, you will see that FCT APC is winning by the grace of God.
Abdullahi Adamu Candido said that President Bola Tinubu is a listening leader and all agitations of the natives of the FCT will one day be met.
The FCT to wake up. If they are sleeping, they should wake up. We are going to help them win the election, but they should be seen in the forefront of engagement. They should be seen in the forefront of canvassing for this vote. They should be seen in the forefront of reconciling with their fellow aggrieved colleagues who also aspire to contest this election. As far as we are concerned, we are leaving the issue of reconciliation with the party structure. As for we representative of Mr. President in canvassing for vote, we are helping to canvass for this vote. We are helping to engage Nigeria on them to see reason why Mr. President should secure a second term in the Federal Capital Territory. But as for the reconciliation, we are leaving the party structure to handle that and asking the candidate themselves not to go to sleep, that nothing is free these days, that FCT, we want to win the election, and we want to win convincingly, not by any means, but convincingly through the people's votes.
He disclosed that the New Hope ambassadors would be speaking in the language of the supporters in order to win more votes for Mr. President in 2027. He concluded by appealing for the media cooperation to achieve these noble objectives. Topsy Gimba, reporting for ASO Television News.
You're watching the news at 3 on ASO Television. Watch us live on GSTV 392, StarTimes TV 127, Free TV 507 on the EHF band, channel 38. Coming up after the break, Federal Executive Council approves decriminalization of attempted suicide. And other stories. Stay with us.
In Biggie's house, there is no place to hide. And even when you think no one is watching, the energy can swing in an instant. This BB Naija Season 11, everything burns brighter. Only the biggest moves tip the scale, because nothing is given, but everything is for the taking when the world watches. Will you be outshined, or will you step up and take the spotlight? Big Brother Naija Season 11. Showing 24/7 on DSTV channel 198 and GoTV channel 49. Headline sponsor, Bet Power.
Civil society organizations, CSOs, have raised fresh concerns over the alleged growing influence of foreign interests in policies and programs affecting children in Nigeria. The organizations, led by the Center for African Policy Research and Advisory, CAFPRA, while engaging the media on children, family values, education, and public policy, Thursday at the National Assembly, called on lawmakers to scrutinize relevant legislation, educational frameworks, and government policies to ensure they reflect the country's social and cultural realities. They urged the lawmakers to go beyond consideration of individual bills and examine the broader policy frameworks, funding sources, partnerships, and educational materials shaping programs targeted at children and young people. According to the groups, policies affecting children require heightened scrutiny, as decisions taken today could have long-term consequences for families, communities, and future generations. CAFPRA Executive Director Dr. Segun Adebayo said African governments must ensure that policies adopted within their countries are firmly rooted in their own realities. He said CAFPRA is concerned about the adoption of policy frameworks without adequate consultation with Nigerians who would ultimately be affected by them. Dr. Adebayo therefore urged the National Assembly to ensure that parents, educators, civil society organizations, child rights advocates, community leaders, and other relevant stakeholders have meaningful opportunities to contribute to policies and programs concerning children. The Nigerian Institute of Town Planners has expressed concern over the flagrant violation of the Abuja Master Plan and the gradual loss of the city's green character. The Federal Capital Territory FCT chairman of the Institute, Comrade Queen Phillips, spoke at the 2026 Annual Town Planners Day in Abuja. Topsy Gimba has details.
Comrade Queen Phillips said the Institute brought stakeholders together to reflect on the challenges confronting sustainable development in the FCT and to examine practical solutions for preserving its environmental assets while ensuring the creation of a livable city. She attributed the distortion of the Abuja Master Plan to interference by authorities, noting that many property owners and developers often ignore professional advice from town planners, thereby worsening the situation.
So that we can have livable communities. So for this theme for this year is for us, all the stakeholders, to gather. We can see what is happening now, even in this FCT. We can see what happened just a few days back with the flood. If we don't discuss how do we ameliorate this, going forward will be terrible. And how do we get to ameliorate all this? It's for us to all come together, the government, the town planners, all professionals in the built environment are very relevant. The master plan is a document. It is designed with safety in mind. And once the master plan is distorted, without recourse to that master plan, without recourse to the planners that have designed the master plan, what we have is chaos like we are having now.
According to her, the Institute is proposing stringent penalties, including requiring offenders to bear the cost of demolishing illegal structures, emphasizing that government agencies should ensure that defaulters pay heavily for their violations.
With the professional town planners and other relevant professionals in the built industry involved, then this professional knows where you can redesign, the standards and the modalities you will take into consideration when doing the redesign. This is different from when you find people that will just encroach into the waterway.
Guest speaker Dr. Larbariko identified corruption, political interference, and non-adherence to the master plan as some of the factors responsible for the ongoing erosion of planning standards in the Federal Capital Territory. She criticized the proliferation of unapproved building plans and developments, urging professionals to exercise greater caution in the use of their signature and official seals.
There's provision for greens, and greens are supposed to help to absorb some of the runoff water. But when the greens are removed, of course, the water when the rain comes, it will have free flow. And because some of the drainages that we have are not wide enough to carry the volume of water that comes, it overflows on the streets and into houses and all that. People that build on drainage lines, people that build on water-prone areas are supposed to be stopped. First of all, served notices by development control.
Dr. Larbariko, who is from the University of Jos, argued that the conversion of green areas into residential developments poses a serious threat to the sustainable growth of the FCT if not urgently addressed. She described the theme of this year's Town Planners Day, from Garden City to Concrete Jungle, planning livable communities, as timely and relevant. Topsy Gimba, reporting for ASO Television News.
The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria FAN says it has not imposed a blanket ban on e-hailing services such as Uber and Bolt at Nigerian airports. The authority, in a statement this Thursday, said it is currently engaging operators to establish an operational framework that addresses passenger safety, security, accountability, and orderly pick-up arrangements within airport premises. FAN said it acknowledges the convenience and additional transport options provided by e-hailing platforms, while also recognizing concerns from passengers who may face inconvenience, and discussions continue. According to the authority, talks with affected operators are ongoing, with both sides working to resolve outstanding issues and ensure that e-hailing services can continue safely and efficiently at the airports. FAN clarified that its Akran's platform is not an e-hailing platform and is not intended to compete with or replicate services provided by Uber, Bolt, or other mobility platforms, but a system designed to improve operational visibility, tracking, and accountability, including the management of applicable airport concession and related charges. The agency says it is confident that an agreement will be reached shortly, stressing that its priority is to provide passengers with a safe, secure, orderly, and seamless airport experience. The authority also reaffirmed its commitment to working with Uber, Bolt, and other mobility providers to maintain safe and convenient transportation options for air travelers. The Federal Executive Council (FEC) has approved an amendment to the National Mental Health Act to decriminalize attempted suicide in Nigeria. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Pate, disclosed this while briefing journalists after the FEC meeting, saying suicide remains a major public health concern in the country. Professor Pate said the World Health Organization estimates more than 7,000 suicide deaths annually in Nigeria, alongside about 300,000 suicide attempts each year. He explained that existing provisions under the Criminal and Penal Codes criminalizes attempted suicide, a position, he said, discourages people in psychological distress from seeking help. The minister explained the proposed amendment aligns the law with the National Mental Health Act 2021, which provides for care, protection, and treatment for people at risk of self-harm. The amendment, jointly developed by the Ministries of Health and Justice, is expected to be transmitted to the National Assembly for consideration and enactment. Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, has applauded the economic reforms introduced by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's led administration for a sustainable growth and development of the nation. The minister gave the applause while presenting the scorecard of the country's economic reforms in Abuja, highlighting fuel subsidy removal and foreign exchange liberalization. Business correspondent Ilaimeje has details.
Presenting the scorecard of the President Tinubu-led administration's economic reforms, including, among others, fuel subsidy removal, Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, argued that additional resources from the savings had helped to finance higher wages, infrastructural, and other government expenditure.
Let me talk to you about our methodology, because I'm sure someone is wondering, where did they find these numbers? Before I turn to what these bought, what the reforms bought, and what it prevented, let me explain how we built this scorecard. The savings from subsidy removal and FS harmonization increased accretion to the Federation account through higher oil and non-oil receipts and reduced encumbrances on future revenue. We're saying there's an important comparison that we often don't avert our minds to. It's what would have been without those reforms. Behind these figures are real, tangible changes in people's lives. Salaries and pensions paid on time, and long-standing pension arrears finally settled. Before the reform started, 27 states were struggling to pay salaries and pensions.
The coordinating minister further expressed government's commitment to more dividends of democracy going ahead.
Let me talk to you about what we see ahead of us. This scorecard is a mid-course account, not the finish line. So let me share with you what comes next. Full data will be on the Federal Ministry of Finance website, www.finance.gov.ng. Visit it, question it, and ask for clarification where you need to.
On his part, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mr. Muhammad Idris, highlights efforts of the President to adequate transparency and accountability in managing national resources.
Nigerians deserve to know what the reform has achieved, the resources that have accrued from it, and how these resources are supporting the broader objectives of economic renewal, infrastructure development, and indeed improved public welfare. The administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu remains as ever committed and is also open to continuous engagement with Nigerians.
They urged all Nigerians to remain good citizens by supporting positive government policy and by seeking sensational review of government's policies in building the Nigeria of our dreams. Ile Emeje, ASO Radio News.
Nigeria and the United Arab Emirates have reaffirmed commitment to strengthening bilateral relations with emphasis on trade, investment, economic cooperation, technology, and people-to-people ties. A statement signed by the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kimi Ebienfa, said the commitment was reaffirmed during a meeting between the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Shola Enikolanaye, and the UAE Ambassador to Nigeria, Salem Al-Samsi, in Abuja. Both sides expressed optimism that stronger political and economic cooperation would boost investment, create opportunities for young Nigerians, and deliver greater benefits to the people of both countries. And that's it on the bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Rosemary Okokotega. Join us at 7 p.m. for more news.